Just because you paid for a ticket does not make them your servants.
So crew, attendants, gate attendants, customer service on the phone. I think there's just this feeling that just because Spirit is known for to have bad customer service, you need to treat them that way. That makes sense. It doesn't make sense to me. Definitely come to them with kindness. Ask politely. Don't demand. Don't treat anybody badly. We actually had an experience at the gate where we saw somebody who was going through some issues with their flight in a neighboring gate. It wasn't for our flight, and she like hit 100 pretty fast because of her frustration. And as someone who works in customer service, I totally understand usually when I've been yelled at, I've had things thrown at me, and like I know because like I've been trained well, like it has nothing to do with me personally, but it doesn't make me want to help you any more than I did. Most likely it makes me want to help you even less. So I think just make sure that you treat people well. Probably every airline, but I feel like a lot of people on Spirit get attacked. I commend Spirit for having such a diverse crew and staff. Like, I think Spirit in America is probably one of the most diverse crews and staff I've seen, and it's pretty cool to see. You do your thing, Spirit. It should be a sprinkle of everybody, and I think even our last flight, we had a little bit of everything.
I also just want to add, as my like keeping it real moment. Point number one: just because you paid for a ticket does not make them your servants. They are not your servants. And I feel like a lot of people are treating them as such, and you need to process that, which leads me to my second point, because I know some people are having a gut reaction right now. And the second point to that is, just because they're not treating you special does not mean they're treating you bad.
Yes. He said it better.
They're human beings, just like you. Maybe they're having a bad day. That doesn't mean they're gonna spit in your face. They're just gonna be a little bit frustrated because you're like the 15th person that think that they're gonna cut the line or get upgraded or something like that. Like, you need to treat people the way that you wanna be treated, or even better, treat people the way that they wanna be treated. Probably like another human being. Next point, passengers. I would say that the passengers of Spirit flights have been some of the most diverse flights I have ever been on. There's a lot of melanated people. There's a lot of Eastern people, European and otherwise. And I feel like everybody can come together and say that they don't like Spirit, but we all fly them at some point or another.
Anyway.
Okay? Spirit is the great unifier, whether you like it or not.
With that said, don't feel ashamed or don't feel like you should be ashamed for flying Spirit.
Yes.
It doesn't mean you're poor. It doesn't mean that you don't have access to other flights for whatever reason. It just means sometimes that you're sensible. Like, you go for a good price. Like this girl. I like getting cheap flights. Like that. Let's just put that out there.
Yes.
Kamau sometimes thinks I'm unreasonable. I'm like, no,
I do, yes.
no. Sometimes I'm just like, I want $100 off.
She does it a lot. She does it a lot. Or we'll buy the flight and then the next day the price drops. You're like, see, I told you.
Sometimes it's just people trying to hold on to their coin. Okay, like it's because. Just because someone's flying Spirit does not mean that they're lesser than in any way. So please do not feel ashamed for flying Spirit. The other thing is, I wish that my parents had access to a budget airline like Spirit when I was growing up, because then they would have been, hopefully, able to afford to have a flight, or have flights for them and 3 kids and not break the bank. So that's another thing to consider, is that it's amazing how much access Spirit allows some of those families to have to places they probably wouldn't have been able to go to if it wasn't for their prices. So don't shame anyone. Applaud them.
Remember, it doesn't matter how you get there. It's about your experience, okay? So whether you're driving, taking the train, taking the bus, or flying a budget airline, particularly not Frontier, right? It doesn't matter how you get there. That's all that matters. Because for all they know, you're going to the luxury hotel with the grotto when you get there. But you're like, I'm not gonna spend $1,000 on my flight when I'm paying $5,000 from my room. All right? Act your wage. That's all you gotta do.
That's all you gotta do.
Which brings us to our next point. If you're enjoying this video, please like, subscribe, and comment.
And if you aren't subscribed yet, this is a great time to hit that subscribe button. We are part-time travelers giving you part-time travel advice and inspiration every week.
So where do we begin? We're gonna begin where we took off from the last time.
What are your initial feelings about flying Spirit round trip? And as far as we did, and a red eye.
I would not recommend it. It just was not for me.